How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to One Ray and Jenny. My name is Ray.
I'm Jenny.
And we like to create content. We are in Kittanning, Pennsylvania, and we are here because every Halloween we do a big scary movie marathon. And this year we decided to watch the Mothman Prophecies again. And it's a great 2002 film starring Richard Gere and Laura Linney. And it takes place in the town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, but they did not shoot in West Virginia at all. They actually shot the whole movie here in Kittanning, Pennsylvania, and then they have a lot of scenes down in Pittsburgh as well that we'll show you. If you've never seen the Mothman Prophecies, pause this video, watch that movie, and then come back, because there's going to be a couple spoilers to be able to show some of the locations.
Okay, so this is one of the opening scenes where Richard Gere is sitting on a bench. He is in D.C. and the POV of the Mothman is coming up behind him. It looks a lot different right now because it was wintertime then, there's snow on the ground. Now we're walking up.
Man, to think I might be sitting exactly where Richard Gere sat 18 years ago, huh? So when the POV shot comes up and kind of creeps up on him, almost like it's the Mothman creeping on him, and he kind of does one of these like double take things, and then they cut to this shot here, and you can tell this is the right shot because that door is over the shoulder right here. So definitely this is probably where you're sitting, which is funny because actually I'm on a different bench than the last shot. So I think they maybe started with him on this bench, and then to get a cooler shot, they move him to this bench for the other shot. But you would never know in the film. So, all right, I think we're gonna try to get a shot of all the buildings that Richard Gere is looking at. But right now it's so blocked because of all the trees, so we can try to get, yeah, we're gonna walk up and show you all the buildings that are back there that are currently being blocked by the trees. So here's definitely a building you can see that Richard Gere is looking towards. Again, all these trees have grown up in the last 18 years, and they're also still covered in leaves. So that's the Natural History Museum right there. And I think you actually see these buildings over here a little bit too.
This one's on the side.
Yeah, this one's in the shot as well. So gives you kind of a little bit more of a view of what Richard Gere was looking at. You know, I mean, when you look at this, you can see why. It's funny because in these scenes it's supposed to be Washington D.C. But again, we're in Oakland in Pittsburgh at the University of Pittsburgh. So you kind of get some D.C. vibes. Actually, this building over here, come on man, that's totally Washington D.C. with the Greco-Roman pillars over there. And then we're right next to this beautiful, what's this cathedral?
Heinz Chapel.
Heinz Chapel. That's gorgeous, look at that. And then of course, the world famous right here, the Cathedral of Learning. Look at that, man. Total Art Deco building. So if they would have put that in the film, you would have, everybody might, hey, wait, that's not DC, that's in Pittsburgh. But then again, yeah, that's Richard Gere was right over there when they filmed Mothman Prophecy. The first daytime shot of Point Pleasant is right here, right? The camera, right, it will pan down like this in the film. It's not quite the angle because I would have to stand in the middle of the street here, but the camera, let me get it in focus for you. The camera pans down like this, and then it tracks over this way, and this was the area where Richard Gere's car was, and that was like played as the garage where he got his car fixed up. It really bums me out that that mural, that beautiful mural that was on the side of this building is now covered up with all this advertisement, but that's where the mural was. So yep, Kittanning, Pennsylvania. Actually, I said it worse than our GPS. It was called Kittanning or something like that. Kittanning, Pennsylvania. This is where, this is supposed to be Point Pleasant. So let's go across the street here and I'll show you right where Richard Gere was standing. Right where Jenny is standing. That is almost exactly where Richard Gere was standing. So this is the scene. He pulls in, or his car had died the day before, and so that's what he's on his way to D.C. or he's on his way out of D.C. to Virginia, but somehow he ends up here in, you know, the fictional version of Point Pleasant. But he comes into this area here where the garage was. The mechanic tells him that there's nothing wrong with his car and that he wasn't even going to charge him because there's nothing wrong. So after he figures out his car's okay, you see him come out to this spot and he kind of like looks like, what's my next move? What do I do? And then he ends up walking down this sidewalk right here. So let's find some more of the spots that he walks by in the film. Richard Gere was standing like right here. He's walking down the street and he kind of pauses and looks in the window of a dress shop. And the crazy part is, it actually is really a dress shop and it's still there. As you can see, this tree didn't used to be there, and they've moved all of the parking meters are a little bit different spot. And the building's a different color, but that's where Richard Gere is walking up the side of the road, like right here. So very, very cool. It was cool to walk on that sidewalk and know that we were walking in his footsteps. It took a little while, but we found the paint shop. It's right here where the Habitat for Humanity is.
It's actually on a different road.
It's not on the main, they make it look like it's on Main Street in the film, but it's actually on one of the side streets. And you can tell too that that's the paint shop because this awning appears. And actually, even 18 years later, it's still kind of that green color.
Yeah.
So, but that's where, yeah, that's where, what was the guy?
Yeah, and the building next to it's the same color.
Yeah, I meant to look this up.
Next to that green one.
Yeah, I meant to look this up, but I think his name was Cooper in the film. But the guy that Richard Gere goes to his house to ask for help, and he keeps saying, you've been coming here every night and you've been harassing me. And Richard Gere's like, Gordon, oh my God, Cooper Gordon. But his name was Gordon. So this is where Richard Gere sees Gordon and he comes over to apologize for coming to his house. And you know, he calls the cops on him. That's where you introduce Laura Linney's character. And so Richard Gere's is coming like, I'm so sorry for all the trouble I caused last night. It's so weird that he said that I was there every night, but I've never been to your house ever. You know, it's kind of a mystery, you know, kind of time loop jump stuff. So, but that's exactly where he meets up with Gordon to talk about the night before. So there's a scene where Laura Linney and Richard Gere are crossing the street and he asked her if she grew up here, well, in Point Pleasant, and she's like, yeah, I grew up right over the hill over there. And he's like, oh yeah, on a farm? She's like, in a house and everything. We even had shoes to wear on Sunday. And I'm pretty sure that they were crossing like right there, because in the background you can see the Citizens Bridge right there. So I'm pretty sure that they're crossing like somewhere right in here. We're having a lot of trouble finding the police station, and we're actually starting to think that it might be gone. Laura Linney and Richard Gere come out of the police station and they go to get in her car. And it's like right here somewhere, because you actually get a really cool low angle shot, right, of them pulling off in her cruiser. And it's like kind of this shot right here. Like you see this building, I think, right here. You definitely see the courthouse building in the background, and you see that apartment right there. Here's some more movie magic. This is the scene where Richard Gere goes to Chicago to get the help from Alexander Lee. And the funny part is, he doesn't go to Chicago. Well, in the movie he goes to Chicago, but they didn't shoot it in Chicago. They shot it here in downtown Pittsburgh. So we are on 6th Avenue, all right? And so the shot starts here on this church, and that building in the background used to say Free Market, not K&L Gates, which is a law firm now. But if you, and in the movie, it starts here and then it slowly pans down. This is the exact shot from the film. And then it goes slowly across the street here. And down here, where that red awning is, right in front of my finger, is the Duquesne Club, and that's where Alexander comes out, and Richard Gere is standing actually like right here on the sidewalk, looking across the street, eyeing him up. So very freaking cool. Actually, I'm going to show you where Richard Gere was standing too. This is where I'm guessing that Richard Gere was standing, looking across the street here at the Duquesne Club. So you can see clearly there's these iron rails here, and then I see like some shrubbery, some greenery behind him. So I'm thinking this is where they filmed the shot. So I'm actually probably standing right in the spot that Richard Gere stood 18 years ago when they filmed this movie. And I found another shot from the movie here. So this is when Alexander Leek is leaving the club, and Richard Gere is following him, and he walks into this alleyway, and the camera like pans down right here in front of the church. It pans down like this, and then Richard Gere is right on this corner here, like right where my finger is down there. He stands there and he's like, "Hey," to Alexander Leek. And then the camera, you know, cuts to Alexander Leek down here in this alleyway. So I mean, that's natural. Like, it's not like movie magic. They literally just walk around the corner here, and then they have their conversation in this alleyway. And again, it's funny because this is supposed to be in Chicago, but it's definitely here in Pittsburgh. Pretty awesome, isn't it? This is a fun scavenger hunt. Very, very cool. All right, let's find some more spots. Funny enough, this is actually the shot in the Mothman Prophecies that I was like, wait a minute, Mikey, this is in Charleston, West Virginia. This is like outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Just to the right of this hotel here, you know, if you go another, what, maybe 4 or 5 miles, there's the Pittsburgh airport. So yeah, this was the shot in the movie. It's just like this throwaway establishing second unit shot right before Richard Gere goes to talk to the governor at the airport. They show this quick shot, and that's like, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, that's not shot in West Virginia, that's shot near Pittsburgh. And that's what made Jenny and I look up all the filming locations and found out that they shot the entire movie in Pittsburgh and in Kittanning, Pennsylvania. So that's really, really cool. So yeah, 18 years later, some of the bushes like weren't there 18 years ago. These trees have definitely grown up in the last 18 years.
You can definitely see the building too next to it in the shot.
The building too, yeah. So yeah, very, very cool. Here's some more movie magic. We are about an hour and a half now from Kittanning. We are in 84, Pennsylvania, down in Washington County. Interstate 70 is like right here. And here is the Avalon Motor Inn. As you can see, they still have the neon. Unfortunately, this hotel, well, this Motor Inn, has since gone out of business. It's permanently closed, it says. But this is where Richard Gere was staying. This is supposedly supposed to be Point Pleasant, but it's actually here in 84 PA, an hour and a half from Kittanning. This red brick building here in the movie is a bar, pub, and it's like downstairs here, and there's a shot where Richard Gere comes up the stairs right there coming out of the pub. You can tell it's right too, because like not only is there this brick building, but you have this building and this whole street, and that lines up like perfectly. Again, it's hard to do these shots sometimes because you know, it's different kind of aspect ratio. They're using different focal lengths and stuff, but that's definitely where they had the pub right there. So definitely I want to give you a spoiler warning. Please, you know, watch the Mothman Prophecies film before you watch our video, you know, definitely. So we figure you've already seen the movie. So you know at the end, the bridge collapses and Richard Gere, playing John, saves Laura Linney's character, Connie. He dives into the river and pulls her out before she drowns. And so there's an ending shot here, one of the last shots in the movie, where it starts on the bridge here, and it's clever too because, you know, they only show like this tiniest part of the bridge because, you know, obviously they didn't blow up the bridge or like it didn't collapse for real. So they start here, and then they do this really slow pan, and you see this awesome gazebo that is right next to it right there. And so like the ambulance would be like between those trees there, and I'm pretty sure that's where Laura Linney was sitting in the back of the ambulance. And what was it, like, was she supposed to be 37? 37 people were supposed to die? Off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. They tell her, like,
I think so.
At the end of the film, they say, well, it could have been worse. 36 people died. And
Right.
she's like, oh my God, the Mothman Prophecy said, wake up 37,
Right.
wake up 37. She was supposed to be 37.
Yeah.
She was supposed to die. So, as you guys can see too, the bridge does not have the really tall, what would you call it, the suspension bridge part? Like those tall, like, you know, masts. They must have painted those in post somehow as a special effect. But that is the Citizens, it's called the Kittanning Citizens Bridge, right? The movie ends with this awesome gazebo in the background. They have some kind of helicopter or crane shot over the river here. Well, I'm not gonna be able to get that shot, but
no.
I figure if this is where the movie ends, this is where we should end today's video. We really, really want you guys to check out the Mothman Prophecies, 2002, Richard Gere, Laura Linney. I actually think it's probably, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's one of the better horror suspense films in like the last 20 years.
It was good.
It's like an underrated sleeper movie that's actually so freaking good. So definitely check out the Mothman. We really hope you enjoyed all the scenery here, all the film locations in Kittanning, all the film locations down in Pittsburgh. So if you're liking our content, please hit subscribe, ring the notification bell for all of our uploads. Leave some comments below. Do you have anything to add, Jenny?
No.
Not even for Mothman?
No.
Well, one of these
here is.
Oh, is it like blinding everybody and watching? One of these days I want to get down to the real Point Pleasant and do the real Mothman museum and all that kind of stuff. So maybe when things calm down a bit, we can head down to the real Point Pleasant. So, yeah. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much again for watching. Take care. Bye.